Alexia. How are you?
Hi, I'm okay.
It's good to see you. How are you doing today?
The same.
Okay. Well, what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about how you went about some of our immediate tasks from your goals. When we met last time, you had been officially confirmed pregnant. Remember, 2 sessions ago, I know you had just taken a test at home, but you did go see a doctor. They confirmed that you were pregnant. So we sat together and mapped out some goals for you to work on. We started with the main goal, which was your main goal was that you wanted to tell your parents with Kyle about the pregnancy and gain their support. I know in the beginning, or 2 sessions ago, you were still a little bit uneasy about whether or not you wanted to keep the baby, but you said last session that you definitely wanted to follow through and that you wanted me to help you work towards that main goal of telling your parents.
Mm-hmm.
So then we created some sub goals. The first was to tell Kyle about the pregnancy. We also had to make the final decision, but you were pretty confident that he was going to support your decision no matter what to keep the baby. You also wanted to tell your sister about the pregnancy to gain her support and ask for her advice because she was in a similar situation. We also wanted to map out you wanted to map out your financial stability, complete school, and make a life timeline to present to your parents. Those were all your sub goals to lead towards the main goal. And then we mapped out some immediate tasks, but we won't go through all of them today. Let's just look at the immediate tasks that we had set forth for today. So by today, you had planned on telling your sister about the pregnancy to gain more support and ask for her advice in order to be able to tell Kyle. But I remember you said at the end of the last session that you wanted me to help you talk to your sister about it first. Did you set up a time to meet with your sister? How are you feeling towards that?
I didn't. Every time I tried calling her, we would just end up talking about other stuff.
Okay.
I couldn't get up the courage, or I don't know. I couldn't do it.
Okay, so you didn't feel like comfortable trying to set up a time, like telling her that you had to talk about something.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you kind of just pretend everything was okay and?
Yeah, we just talked about like her and other stuff. I didn't bring it up.
Okay. I also remember in our last session you did mention you were going to go talk to your advisor too, because that was something that you wanted to accomplish in terms of how quickly you can complete school. Were you able to set that up as well?
No.
No. Okay. Are you just busy or just?
There's just been a lot going on lately.
Okay. So then let's kind of put the goals to the side for a second, because I can tell that you're feeling a little bit extra uneasy today. So what I want to do is I want to just kind of ask you what I call a scaling question. So if you were to tell me how you're feeling on a 0 through 10 scale, 10 being your desired outcome and 0 being your least desired outcome, where are you feeling right now?
Probably like a 3 or 4.
Okay, a 3 or 4. Do you know what's making you feel like a 3 or 4?
There's just been so much going on, even just like on top of what I'm going through. I feel like I'm just dealing with so much more with my family and with work. I was just promoted to manager at my family's business,
Okay.
which is great if everything else wasn't going on. But so there's that, and I'm working more hours, and it's like long nights, and I'm still in school, and then just trying to like just get rest, and I'm just tired all the time now, and I can't focus on anything, and I'm just feeling really overwhelmed. And even now with like, I have a younger brother I told you about. He's 21 and he's doesn't want to be in school, but he works at the business, and my dad is like coming to me trying to get me to help him register for classes, and it's just something extra I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I care, but I feel like I'm just like babysitting him too, and it's just so much is going on. I'm just feeling so overwhelmed.
Okay, so it sounds like a lot has changed in your current situation since our last two meetings. I know
Yeah.
in the beginning you were overwhelmed, but it was, with being a student and you were working full time. But now it sounds like you have a little bit more, actually a lot more responsibility since the last time. You said you were promoted to manager, which is great, but it kind of adds to your plate more than it takes away. It sounds like you're a little overwhelmed with the new expectations for you at your job. It sounds like there is some, other family things going on just in terms of your brother. It sounds like your parents are really stressed out about your brother's situation in terms of him not wanting to go to school and just working at the business. And it also sounds like your parents are looking to you to kind of help guide your brother. Maybe, you're older, you've lived through it,
They're like, you're in school, why can't he be? So.
Right, and so they're hoping that you can project that onto him, which is another thing to add on the plate on top of being a manager. It also sounds like, as you're moving further along in your pregnancy, that it's weighing you down a little bit. You're feeling really tired and fatigued, and also probably the burden that they don't know yet either. So they're kind of adding to your plate, but not realizing what's going on with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a lot to handle. I can't even imagine. So I understand why you could be feeling uneasy. Back to the scaling question, based on what you told me, what would it take? So you said you were at a 3 or 4 based on everything we just discussed. What would it take for you to, maybe climb 2 points higher? Do you know?
I don't know. I have no idea right now.
Okay. So let's see. What I'm gonna add. This is gonna kind of sound like a silly question, but it might help us get towards that desired outcome for you. If let's just say you went to bed tonight, and while you were asleep, everything in your world kind of shifted, and a miracle occurred. And when you woke up the next morning, the miracle occurred, and you were in a situation in which you wanted to be in. What would be different for you? What would be that miracle?
I probably wouldn't be pregnant.
Okay. So at all?
No.
Okay. So let's see. So no one else still knows that you were even pregnant as well?
Yeah, I would just go away.
Okay. So it would kind of be going back to even before our first session, even before you knew.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm thinking, Alexia, is when we met last time, we had mapped out a plan. You had said to me that you definitely wanted to keep the baby, and you weren't sure about Kyle's decision about it, but you were pretty confident that he was going to support you no matter what, and you knew that you wanted to keep the baby. But now I'm just concerned because now you're saying that you don't want you would, if you could change anything, it would be that you weren't pregnant. Could it be that you might have some reservations about what your initial decision was last time? And that's totally okay. I'm just seeing that there's a conflict in your
just you
viewpoints.
Asking me that and me saying it, I don't know. It makes me feel really uneasy. I'm not 100% confident that I want to have this baby, but I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Okay. Could that be possibly what might get you higher on our rating scale from 0 to 10? Is if you weren't pregnant? Would that kind of be at, okay. So do you feel fully confident? And, remember, these goals are not set in stone. We can absolutely change them. Do you feel fully confident right now saying that you want to, kind of maybe get an abortion and just not be pregnant anymore? Or are you still...
I'm still split. I don't know, but I need to make up my mind soon because there's only a certain amount of time. I think it's the first few weeks. I have to ask my doctor when I'd be able to. Okay. But I don't know.
Okay. Well, what I'm thinking is what I want to try, because I know you are very split, but based on what you told me about, just with the rating scale and when I asked you the miracle question, it sounds as if you you could possibly be leaning in that direction. And could it be that I know you didn't really complete any of your immediate tasks from last week. Is that weighing in the back of your mind a
Yeah.
little bit?
I feel like talking it out with you right now, it makes a little more sense. Like, how can I talk to my sister about it when I don't even know? Like, I say that I know, but like every time I would try to call her and tell her, I would just freeze up and be like, "So how's your day?" and switch the topic. So I think I need to figure my stuff out.
Okay. So it sounds like, you are having reservations about maybe your initial decision,
Yeah.
and it might be causing you to not be able to move forward in our initial plan. So what I want us to do is to just get to kind of help you work through this is we're gonna, but I'm not usually, we'll bring another chair over here. It's called the open chair technique. Um, Usually I do it with clients in order for them to have conversations with someone that they're having a conflict with. But in this case, I'm just going to have you kind of do an open chair technique with yourself. So what that means is I'm going to just facilitate um, you to have a conversation with yourself. I know that sounds silly, or it might sound a little awkward, but I think it might help you to weigh out two different sides. So the two different roles I want you to play is you're always going to be Alexia, so you're always going to be you, but I want you to be Alexia that is thinking about not going through with the pregnancy, and going for that get an abortion, and the Alexia that was here last week in mapping out our goals, the one that was going through with the abortion. So I'm actually going to have you start off with the Alexia that doesn't want to go through with the pregnancy.
Okay.
So if that Alexia could talk to the Alexia that does want to go through with the pregnancy and have the baby, what would you say? What would you convince that Alexia to change their mind? I know, does that make sense? I know it's confusing.
No, I'll get into it. I'm just trying to. So right now I'm saying I'm like split between me not wanting to have a baby and me wanting to. So I'm talking to myself last week, saying, telling her like why she shouldn't.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I don't think you should have this baby right now because of everything that's going on. You wouldn't be able to financially support yourself. It would stop your life. You'd probably have to drop out of school, even though you say you won't. Like, you will. Your parents will be disappointed. Like, you're gonna throw Kyle for a loop. You don't even know if he's ready. And how are you supposed to work at the family business and do what you want to do with life if you have a baby like right now?
Okay. And now what would Alexia that does want to follow through with the baby say to that response?
That you can't really plan for these things and that they happen and you just have to make the best of it, and it would go against what you were raised thinking, that an abortion is wrong and against your religion and you're pro-life, and like, what would your parents think if you didn't have this baby? And yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so what would Alexia that doesn't want to have the baby say to that?
She sounds stupid.
Okay, that's okay.
You could figure out a way to talk to your parents or maybe not talk to them. They don't have to know about it. I mean, I've never lied to them before, but I feel like this is my choice and my decision, and they don't have to know about it. But you can talk to Kyle and have him be there with you. It doesn't mean just because you're not having a baby now, you can in a few years from now when you're all settled in and you'll be more ready for it and the baby will have a better life. But now is not the right time.
Okay, so what would Alexia from last week, the one that wants to follow through, say to that? And it's
I feel like that would probably like stump her.
Okay, it's okay for one of the Alexias to be stumped.
Mm-hmm.
What would make that Alexia be like? Why would that Alexia be stumped? What do you think?
Because everything she said, the other Alexia said
I
is
know.
right, and I think the only thing stopping her would be is the fear of like disappointing her. Like I feel like the only thing she would be able to say back is like, well, what about her parents? Like, what are you? How are they gonna? I don't know. I don't have to tell them. They don't have to know. It's just if I'd be able to like sleep at night knowing that I went through with an abortion and didn't tell them, but like I can't sleep at night right now, so I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Before I even, what I'm going to have you do is, because both Alexias said a lot, and I think that you, you know, you definitely embodied both of them. And I think because they both said a lot, I know one Alexia did get stumped. What I'm actually going to have us do is, I have a piece of paper. I'm going to have us actually map out what both Alexias said, because I think in order to be able to see it on paper will help with kind of seeing organization and seeing where you connect with most. Because right now, do you feel like you're able to connect with one? You said a lot as both.
Yeah, I can see it from both sides. I mean, I definitely think I connect a little bit more with me today.
Okay.
The Alexia not having the baby, but I still respect some of the things that the other Alexia said.
Okay, so I'm going to split this piece of paper in half, and we're just going to kind of recap what you just said as both Alexias. And I think because you're playing yourself in both, it could sound a little confusing. So we have Alexia.
Can we not write abortion though?
Yeah,
I don't want to see that.
No, that's fine. Okay. We'll put, how about Alexia from today?
Okay.
No, absolutely. Alexia from today. And if we said Alexia from last week, would that make...
You could, like, even Alexia pregnant is fine.
Alexia pregnant. Yeah, no, absolutely. So Alexia from today and Alexia pregnant. So let's kind of recap what each one said. So we started with Alexia from today. And Alexia from today, she listed a lot of things. But she said she would tell Alexia pregnant that
it's the wrong time.
Okay.
She can have a baby a few years from now.
So have a baby in future.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It would like halt or like make her. She would drop out of school. She would have to leave school.
Okay.
Because even now on my own, I'm like financially struggling, so there's no way.
Okay.
So baby,
financial struggle. Okay. I think in that first dialogue from Alexia, she mentioned all the new responsibilities.
Yeah.
Right? That from work, manager, and your brother.
Which is like what I want to do right now. Like I want that to be on my main focus, even helping my brother. Like I can't focus on it or be there 100% with everything going on with me.
Okay. So this Alexia wants to take
to work, yeah.
Yeah, take on these responsibilities. You want to be the manager. You want to help your brother. Responsibilities. Okay. And I think, so after that is when Alexia pregnant started talking. And what did Alexia pregnant say? You mentioned holding...
That you can't plan for these things. You make the best of it.
Make the best of the situation. This Alexia also mentioned your parents.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, what would they think if I had an abortion? And it goes against everything. Like, it goes against how we were raised.
Goes against values. Perfect. Did she say anything? I think that she had a shorter...
What else did she say?
Shorter dialogue. I think, well, then, because Alexia from today went back at that and said, I think this Alexia didn't use a nice word with this one, right?
Probably stupid.
Yeah. So we don't have to write that down. But then this Alexia also mentioned, remember Alexia pregnant got stumped.
Yeah, because I said you could just talk to your parents or not tell them.
Mm-hmm. Parents or keep it to yourself. And then that's when this Alexia pregnant got stumped.
Mm-hmm.
Does it help mapping it out a little bit? And it helps for me because we had two different Alexias,
yeah.
even though they're the same. So let's just take a look at this, for example. And this is in no way to be a pro-con list. I just wanted to write it down for you so that you can kind of get a better idea of each viewpoint visually. You definitely embodied both of them, but which one, and you did mention that you felt like you could connect with both of them a little bit, but more so Alexia from today.
Yeah.
Looking at it on paper, do you still feel like you're connecting with Alexia from today?
Yeah. I think the only thing that I connect with on this page is just like the fear of it.
Okay.
And talking to my parents.
Just put fear. Okay.
Like I feel like, say I do have go through with an abortion and just feel guilt. Like, what if that happens?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I guess it's just the fear of the unknown.
Okay.
But
so I'll put fear of the unknown. So we write that down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But that's really the only thing on that side. Like everything that I said today. Because it's not like I'm not gonna be able to have a baby and a family again. It's just right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think just that point, like I can have a baby in the future, makes a big difference.
Okay. And then, so which one do you feel is, which Alexia do you feel is making the most sense for you? The Alexia from today.
Yeah.
So really, it's just that fear of the unknown with the Alexia pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you think that you are ready to make a final decision today about this? Or do you, I mean, if you're connecting with this one, I know you don't like that word, so we don't have to use that word. And do know that there are other options too, you know.
Yeah. Adoption.
But if...
But then I don't think I could do that because then my parents would see me pregnant and that brings up a whole nother issue of me going through with the pregnancy and giving it up. And I feel like if I did go through with the pregnancy, I would keep the baby.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't have an option. Even me as a person, I don't think I'd be able to let go of the child.
Okay.
But
no, and that's good to recognize though.
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel comfortable with making a decision after today? I don't know if did this help you kind of connect with which route to go?
It did. I've been feeling just guilt and like a bad person because I think everything I said today is how I've been feeling, but I feel like I haven't been able to say it just because I feel like it's wrong.
Okay.
But it's not. It's my life and I can make a choice. And I shouldn't feel the pressure from what everyone else will think.
What is making you feel like it's wrong?
I think just my parents' views and how we were raised, like they were always anti-abortion and pro-life, and just even like their values with the church, I don't know. It just was like a foreign concept to me.
Okay. Well, from here,
I have to talk to Kyle.
That's the other thing too, is talking to Kyle. Would Kyle be apt to influence your decision?
Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to see how he reacts, but I think just knowing that I don't want to have the baby might make it a little bit easier to talk to him. But I don't want him to think that like I didn't consider him in any of this. So maybe talking to him will influence it a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know how much.
Okay.
I don't want to upset him because what if he does want to have the baby? But like I said, like we can in the future.
Okay. So it sounds to me as if you you do know inside what decision you want to go with, but I still don't feel as if you are comfortable actually making it yet without Kyle,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Or,
that's true.
I mean, if the decision is to go with Alexia from today, how comfortable do you feel telling Kyle, number one, that you are pregnant, and number two, that that's your decision, without getting his feedback? Because it sounded like you weren't so sure about that.
I don't know if I'd ever be comfortable, to be honest.
Okay.
I would just kind of have to like sit with him and say it. But I would explain to him too, like how I have been meeting with you, and this hasn't been easy, and I obviously want to know what he thinks, but this is where I'm coming from. So maybe just be able to like explain myself, and even like explain to him like this, like what we did, and just say like this is where I'm coming from. Like I hope you can understand, and maybe just see what he says.
Okay. So then, do you think? Because I was gonna say, what if we reworked our goals? But if I had asked you now where you are right now, let's go back to the scale for a second before we look at the goal. After kind of weighing out and talking with both Alexias, you said you were at a 3 or 4, and you are definitely still most likely at a 3 or 4. This was just kind of weighing things out. Let's go back to that question of what would it take for you to be able to go up, 2, 3 points on that desired scale of 10 being what you
Probably
want.
to actually like really follow through with it and sit with Kyle and tell him about my decision.
Okay.
And I feel like my decision won't be set in stone yet until he knows.
Okay.
If that makes sense?
Yeah.
Because like I know what I want to do, but like it's his baby too, so I feel like it can't be all me. Like I just need to hear the okay from him, and then I can go through with it, and that would raise me a few points.
Okay. So then what would you label that 10 as that desired outcome?
Unfortunately.
Okay. So then going up would be, on the scale would be to talk to Kyle about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm thinking is, since our next goal for your next session would be to actually have you talk to Kyle in order to move forward with your desired outcome, why don't we do another open chair technique in which you are actually having that conversation with Kyle, embodying you having the conversation, and then actually embodying Kyle, responding to what you're telling him.
Okay.
So before we start, let's just kind of set the scene a little bit. Where would you have this conversation with him? Would you kind of set it up ahead of time, or would it just be casual over, hanging out?
If he were, I live on my own, so I could do it at my apartment.
Okay.
So we have more privacy in the conversation.
Okay.
And I guess he's over like all the time, so I guess I can just give him like a heads up. Like I just want to talk to you tonight about something.
Okay.
Important.
Perfect. So would this be? It's just best to really get the scene. Would it be in the kitchen, in the living room?
In the living room.
Okay.
Probably on the couch.
Okay. Perfect. And would you kind of tell him ahead of time that you had something to talk to him about, or do you think it's just kind of best to casually? What do you feel? You know him best, so.
Maybe casually. Like I'll feel it out during the night whenever there's like a moment that I think is right, but I can definitely like pick a night and go with it.
Okay.
But
okay. So why don't we just get started with it? Let's pretend that we're in your living room on your couch, and you're here, and sometimes I put a chair, but if we could just do it without a chair, just pretend that Kyle is right here.
Okay.
So let's just say you're watching TV, and how would you initiate the conversation?
I would just be like, I'm trying to like get into the.
Yeah, I know it's awkward, but it just helps to embody each
I'd probably
person.
just say like, hey babe, can I talk to you about something really important for a minute?
Okay, and what would be his initial reaction to that? Because it's just random while you're watching Netflix.
He's like a worrier, so he would probably be like, "Of course, everything okay? Like, yeah, sit down." So then I would sit, and I would probably just say, "So these past few weeks, I've been going through something, and I'm sorry that I haven't told you, but I've been working through everything on my own and trying to figure out what I've been needing to do with it, and I'm pregnant, but I don't think I'm going to keep the baby."
Okay.
And
And what would be his response to that?
he'd probably be in shock.
Okay.
I'm sure he'd probably be like, "Well, when did you find out? Or what? Like, why?"
Yeah.
And
What and what why to the abortion aspect?
yeah.
Okay.
So I would just say, "Well, I found out a few weeks ago, and I've been going to see a counselor because I didn't know what to do about it, and I just think right now is not a good time. And the more I think about it with school and work and everything going on with our lives, like even financially, and you with your job, you're not happy there, and you're trying to find another job, and this would be a setback. And we could always get pregnant again in the future when we're ready for it. Like, I'm only 23 right now. I'm not saying I don't want to be, but just not right now."
Okay. And what would he say to that?
I don't know. Like, I hope he would understand. Like, I'm sure he would rationalize, and he'd probably need time
Okay.
to get it. I don't know if he'd be like angry though, or like we've never. Whenever we do argue or something happens, he listens. He's always a big listener,
Mm-hmm.
but we've never had something like this come up, so I don't know. Going off of how he's reacted in the past, though, whenever we do have like an argument, he listens and we talk. So I hope that he would be able to like talk it through with me.
Okay. How is he raised in terms of um, you know, pro life or what is
Um,
his
he's one of three boys. He's
okay.
like the youngest. I remember once though, 4 years ago, his brother found out that his girlfriend was pregnant. She actually had a miscarriage, but his parents were very supportive with
Okay.
it. So, I mean, he has supportive parents.
Okay.
I don't know what his views though on abortion would be.
Okay. But based on your delivery, I know it was really hard for you to embody him because you weren't really sure how he was going to react. You knew he'd be shocked, you knew he'd be surprised, but you just weren't sure in terms of you're probably going to be shocked and surprised at the pregnancy, but you're just not sure about the abortion piece of it. But overall, your delivery, I, even though I know it's always easier when the person's not really here, but you seemed very confident to me. You fully embodied Alexia from today. How did you feel with delivering it?
I felt good. I think just being able to explain to him that it's not a choice that was easy for me, that I actually put time into it and my sessions with you, and just that it's been thought through.
Okay.
It's not just because I'm scared.
How did you feel in terms of actually, saying it out loud for the first time? Because when, you know, Alexia from today never, I know you don't like that word, and you didn't use the word, and over here, Alexia pregnant, fear of the unknown, just had a lot of fear. How did you feel just now when you delivered it to him? And you said it out loud.
Really relieved.
Okay, that's good. Because what I wasn't sure. I know what your desired outcome was, but I don't want to push you into, I want this. This is your decision.
Yeah.
So, as your counselor, I was a little nervous because I still wasn't sure fully where you were. But I think, you saying it out loud. I think you do. You know? Do you feel like you know?
Yeah, I think that kind of confirmed it.
Okay. Well, you were very confident in your delivery. How do you feel about him? About the unknown of how Kyle is going to react? Because I know during this technique you weren't able to embody him.
It's scary. I definitely think it's something we can handle. And I know he's pro-choice, so I think that might influence it. Like, I think he'll definitely understand, or hopefully understand where I'm coming from. Um, I'm not too scared, though, to talk to him and handle whatever his reaction may be because, like I've said, like, we've always just been able to, like, listen to each other and talk whatever through. So I'm hoping,
Okay.
like, if that's how it goes, it won't be too bad.
Okay. So you do know that I know you had mentioned you weren't sure his feelings on it, meaning, but you did mention now he is pro-choice, or
He's pro-choice, but I don't know how his feelings on it would be in our given situation because it's ours.
his
So
situation.
I don't know.
Okay.
Sorry, I should have clarified.
No, that's okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you did a great job. Do you feel ready to talk to him about it? I think
Yeah.
you delivered it with confidence, and it sounds to me like you're ready to talk to him. And so I think what we'll do is for next time, let's put an X over this. Does that feel okay doing that? Okay, that's okay. So then sometimes when we make goals, again, we know what your desired outcome is. We know what your main goal is. But I feel like let's not map this out right away. Let's just start with that immediate task because we do still, or you do, I'm sorry, need to see what Kyle's reaction. And it sounds like, I mean, you've told me that Kyle is supportive. He's a listener. Sometimes he does need time to rationalize things in his head, but he will listen to you and he is supportive. So I think that should give you the confidence moving forward. I think, and tell me if you're comfortable with this, I think that instead of actually writing down a main goal, let's just write down one immediate task for next time, and that would be what?
To talk to Kyle.
Right. So we would want you to talk to Kyle and tell him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now, are you hoping for him to, are you hoping for the two of you to make a final decision together by the next time we meet?
Yeah.
Or do you feel like he's going to need some time to let it marinate?
I'm sure he'll probably need a few days. I honestly don't know how long, but I think between like our conversation and then my next session with you, I should have a final decision made.
Okay, excellent. So then let's just leave it at that. When we come back, we'll see where things are, and we will, create the goals as we see fit. We might not even need them. It depends on how it goes. But so let's just recap. We had a big session today.
Yeah.
How are you feeling in terms of do you feel like you're 0 to 10? That 3, 4, do you feel like you went a little bit up? I know you said you need to talk to Kyle. Okay, we raised it to a 5 already.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just in terms of feeling relieved a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So then let's just recap a second. So when you came in today, I know you were feeling very uneasy. We were at a 3, 4. But I think that you definitely came a long way. You made your final decision. And it's totally okay that it was different from last week. You said a lot of things came into play. You have new responsibilities at work with your manager position. There's some things going on at home with your brother, and your parents have looked to you for guidance, and you're just feeling completely overwhelmed. And you just, feel as if it's best if you weren't pregnant at this time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when we definitely worked through both Alexia's perspectives, right?
Yeah.
You felt to connect most with Alexia from today, and you also practiced the open chair technique with Kyle. You were very confident in your delivery. I know that, I hope that you're not uneasy about what he's going to think. It's natural if you are, but I think your confidence and all of your points are definitely rational and, not out of left field for anyone. So then by next time you'll talk to Kyle, and then I can't wait to hear how that goes.
Okay.
And from there we'll make a plan moving forward. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions?
I think we covered a lot.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you're feeling better, and we'll be in touch.
Okay.
So,
thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.